Well, so good evening, everyone, and thank you, Anil, for inviting me and giving the opportunity to share some of the things that we have been able to do in past, or we have been trying to do in past 3 to 4 years. So the question that Dr. Khan asked was that we're starting a new program, how best to approach that. The fact is, the program to which I am and Shankar, for example, are affiliated has been doing, which is the Developmental Therapeutics Program, which has been in existence for more than 55 years. And even though we would like to say that we know how drug discovery is done, the fact is there is always room for improvement. So as we know that it doesn't matter how many resources we have, when it comes to drug discovery, for that matter, when it comes to any new discovery, they are finite. So the question is, and we know that there are many stakeholders, there are many players who are interested with the same goal, be that from government labs or government agencies, policymakers, as we represent as a scientist and policymaker, be the private industry, and I can see many colleagues from the private industry from India and here, or be from academia, as we see people sitting here. So they all have the same goal, and the goal is to find out or to lower the burden. And as the first speaker, I believe Mr. Jan mentioned, the diseases. Well, the fact is the diseases, as we know, as the world is coming closer and closer, the geographical boundaries are changing, the burden of disease is not from where it started. It has become quite a global thing. So the challenge which we took upon us was how best we integrate these three stakeholders. So as the challenges are not local, they are global. The fact is, if you turn it around, the strength, which is the strength of education, research, and partnership, could be converted as a global challenge. So the question is how best we bring all these resources together, whether they're intellectual resources, whether they are physical resources, how we best we bring them together to address or take upon the burden of diseases. So what I'm going to share with you is the program that was initiated or which was conceptualized nearly 4 years ago, and I'm glad to mention standing here that we now have a very well-functioning national and actually international program, and I will show you the list of players who are in this. And so we were tasked with, okay, few of those who are in different parts of different disciplines of drug discovery program. For myself, for example, a synthetic medicinal chemistry, chemical biologist, been doing this drug discovery. So same way, people from different background. Now you have the task to put the nation together in such a way that the resources are used effectively. You bring together the government agencies, the government scientists, you bring together the academia, and you bring together the industry. So this is just an illustration showing that what my colleague before George had mentioned, CA-BIG, which is as a powerful tool to bring together the data. Our task was you bring together people at least to generate the data before it goes to them and they linked it together. So this is just a representation of there are various stakeholders, whether you are a chemist, biologist, pharmacologist, toxicology, as a scientist. There are several programs through which people are interested to take their technology further. Now, and there is obviously some chances of redundancy, trying to bring people together so they have the resources which are available to all of them equally. So that led to generation of what we call the NCI's Experimental Therapeutics Program. And as I mentioned earlier, the goal was to unify discovery and development of the whole drug discovery engine. Now, this slide, many of you might have seen before. We are at NIH. We have among the best of the best, a biologist. So if you have a target, for example, and as you can see, this is just a simple illustration of how many different players you need to get to. If you have a biology, known protein, and how do you take that one molecule into the world, into the clinic, and take it to the patient. So this is the playground. The idea, the challenge for us was bring that all of these players who are into this game of taking the target and producing a molecule that can go to the patient, integrate together. And here it is. It could be an investigational drug, it could be an imaging drug, it could be a small molecule, it could be a botanical, it could be a natural product. It could come from internally, it could come from academia, it could come from industry, it could come from anywhere. But you create a platform where everybody could play equally, everybody could come together and have an equal chance so that the resources are spread across in such a way which are transparent and everybody could benefit. Now, so we wrote a program, we came up with a program to bring the government, academia, and the private industry together. And again, now as you know, what we need, I mean, now going towards a little bit of the science, you have a protein, you have a gene identifier, you have a protein. Now we are trying to hunt, to look for a molecule or therapy, a bacteria, or a vaccine, how it interacts to take care of what has been the reason for the disease, or what has been the cause for the disease. So one could be a biologist, or it could be a clinician. The idea could come from anywhere. And what I show on this slide are there are multiple entry points. So you could be a biologist, you could be a pharmacologist, you could be a toxicologist, or a clinician. You have an idea, you have something which is tangible, which has been validated, which has a proof of concept done. You could come to NCI, you could come to this program, and you could share, and only in 3 pages, just a 3-page application, you can have, which is again vetted through the experts in the area. There are 15 to 20 experts. It goes externally, it comes internally. Then there are a panel of experts internally. They review, scoring is done, everything is transparent. Once it is considered having merit to be a project which could be meeting the mission of the NCI, it then becomes an NCI project. The best part, IP belongs to you. And the second best part, to do that discovery, to take it from wherever it started all the way to the clinic, government puts the bill. So 2 things that I'm sure you would like to hear. The IP belongs to you, and government will put the bill. However, the fact is, the scientist, it will not be one person driving the project. It will not be individually say, that would be the grant mechanism, you take the grant and you run with the grant the way you want to. Now, because the government is involved in funding, now there are many stakeholders involved. So then we put together a team of experts. Now this team of experts is not that we randomly go and pick the team of experts. This is the team of experts which is, you could suggest, or we have nationally, internationally people who we know who are best, they all discuss, and it becomes a transparent team of scientists. So basic idea here is the scientist driving the science with full transparency. And so with that, I'll give you, in the next 3 slides, I'll just give you an example of few of the stakeholders. For example, in a pharmaceutical industry, biotech industry, you have small molecules, you have natural products, you have vaccines. In order to validate it, in order to find out what is the best thing, you can imagine the number of people that you will be involving in just for that one point in this whole panel. All of those could get involved in this. Okay, so as a chemist, once the second half of the drug discovery, for example, you have a hit, taking from hit to lead to lead development, lead optimization, and formulation, delivery, all the way to the clinic. Preclinical part is done, clinic, and all the way to clinic. All of those people can get involved in this. And this is not just that we thought about this thing. Here is just a small illustration of the list of imaging agents, for example, which for last few months have gone through the validation process and are in the process of actually moving forward in the NCI, or this integrated, what in the other part of the world is called a public-private partnership, or what we call the government, academia, industry partnership. You could be, so this is just an illustration of, we started this program, actually this program was formally announced on August 9, 2009. And now we have a large number of actually institutes, private, the individual investigator, labs, and even industry involved in all these things. But however, this is again a transparent single pipeline program where from the starting point to the end. Now this is again bit of a luck, and of course the fact that there is an experience. And the reason I took this example is because my colleague Joe Shankar would like to see this example. This is an example of what started, as you see, in July 1995. Those 30 analogs started. If it was to be left only for one entity, one of the stakeholders to do, it would not be, the Valgate, which is one of the blockbusters today in the market, would not be in the market. However, they came to NCI, as you can see here, in October 1997. And Shankar, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think 2003, it was in the market. It happened by bringing academia, industry, and government together. And this is one of the blockbusters in the market. So this is just an illustration of the fact that this can be done. It's not just an imagination that it will happen or not. It actually was, it happened. So our mission, again, is to create a platform, to provide an opportunity which is fair, which is open, and which involves all stakeholders equally, and everybody feels that they are owning this thing and when they be part of this thing. Because, and as you can imagine, when you do such a thing, you have to go through a long process. So this is just an example of some of the initial, in the initial round when we had, we floated the competition nationally. This is the list of universities and cancer centers which were selected, of course, by a national competition. However, without giving the name, you'll be glad to know, probably my colleagues from India, the only entity which is internationally connected to this is a company from India. And I'm not here to advertise here, so I will not give the name. But there is plenty of room to come and to be part of this thing. And so this is just, again, the illustration, whether you are in discovery or in the development stage, whether you are a small industry doing a very small but niche area, your strength, whatever that strength be, you do not have to think like, oh, we are very small, we have only small thing, how do we become the part of such a huge program? That's not the case. We have now examples where there are very small starting biotech company, for example, they have applied and they are moving up the ladder in becoming NCI's project. So why? Again, this is preaching to the choir. It's not difficult to realize the fact, because if it is a big pharma, the question is, if we talk about cancer, they will look for big 4 cancers, because that's where the money is to be made. They will not spend too much time and effort in the area where there are less or small patient population. Biotech is in the middle, and academia, as we know, publish or perish. They have a reason to address this thing quite differently. However, we at least from our side feel sort of a responsibility to take the bigger challenges, because if the policymakers, if they are listening to me, if they don't have the responsibility, who else is going to take the responsibility for the common people who have the diseases and there are a very small number of patients? Nobody's going to take care of that unless the government steps up and if we bring all the stakeholders together. So nothing, of course, we are in a competitive world. The first thing that comes to mind is IP, and IP. If I have an idea, why should I share with you, or what happens to my idea? So one thing which, of course, before we got our marching order to go and a blank board and start thinking of a national program, there were 4 of us who started just scratching our head to see how we connect our entire nation and of course, bringing internationally people together. There were, of course, lawyers, our lawyer colleagues, who sat down, who went to the best of the brains working in the law area and trying to figure out what should be the best language that will be accepted by all the entities, all the players, and everybody will feel comfortable coming and working with us. And of course, so everybody who becomes member of NEXT or want to participate, there is an agreement which is to be signed. And again, I mentioned as earlier, you bring something new that IP belongs to know, and as we know in the area of discovery and development, one IP then leads to many more IPs. And as people are involved, there is a very clear-cut language. They all equally own and participate and be part from publication to patent. So we have, this is just I put together, there are 4 cycles every 3 months. February 15th, May 15th, August 15th, and November 15th. You can go on NCI's website. There are just 3-page applications that you can submit, and of course you can have any supplemental information that you would like to provide and become a part of this thing. So the reason, again, this thing works is because of many common sense factors, but in reality, as we know, they do not get practiced, which is transparency, so that each participant in the program, each participant in the project feels comfortable that he or she has all the information which is needed. Accountability, everybody who is involved in this is accountable to take care of their part of the responsibility, their part of the project, their part of the scientific work, or whichever work is assigned to them to take this thing forward. And of course,